What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. Happy Sunday. All right, well, I am getting set up here with my Thinkorswim. Give me a second. In the meantime, oh, it's a lovely weekend. Been so lazy. I'm going to go. Got a little slow on the start today, but that's all right. I have an entry model I want to test out. There we go. All right, where did we end off? April 22nd. We had 388.50 on April 22nd, and I'm pretty sure we had 2 more days to do. All right, let's do that. So let's go to the 23rd. To the 23rd, and let's go to 940. All right. And let's check the news on that day. Because we're in June. I'm a little slow. I should be done with April already. All right. So we had nothing. All right. So cool. Anything's game past 9:45. All the important news has already come out. Whoops. Let's go to the daily on this guy and see where we are. Hey-ho! We are in a stupidly bullish space at this point. So since the 31st of March, we've just been running up, 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 up. Beautiful. All right. So the day came, swept the lows, swept the highs into this like kind of a daily order block kind of thing. Let's see, 4 hours. Okay, so let's gravitate towards this bullish fair value gap right here. Should draw that properly. Let's change color. We're respecting the hell out of it, so there's that. On the 4 hour, it's a little guy underneath it. Let's delete that. So we're forming a 4 hour order block here. We've tapped into this one right here. What looks to be a propulsion block right here. Bam. Looks like we're pushing. Looking good, looking good. Let's see. So obviously we're looking at longs. Wow. That's a sweep and a half, right? That wick is gangsta right now. All right, so we swept down, took this here, order block here, we've tapped into it, and it's what, 9:41. So I don't take trades until after 9:45, so we'd have to wait anyway. So let's do some, we can get past here. Let's see if we can do a little bit of Fibonacci work. I want to test something out though when the opportunity shows itself. Basically, when we sweep a high time frame liquidity, you know, like previous day's low, previous day high, that sort of thing. I want to see how, let me clean some of this up. I want to see how well the engulfing 5-minute candle can be used as an entry, you know, and then that might give me an opportunity to get into the trade a little bit earlier. So let's see. All right, so what we're doing right now, since we're at all-time highs, we got to figure out areas of interest. I'm using the 1 hour, whoops, sorry about that. I'm using the 1 hour order block to give me some standard deviation above all-time highs. So 0.5 5 standard deviations. I'll add the price on there because I'm starting to realize I like to know what the number is so I can like estimate. And let's duplicate that and plop it up to 1. I don't know if I need to go any higher with the days, but we will, because what if it just runs? We don't know. So this daily candle's already taken the previous day's high and the all-time high and then dropped. So this is like what I would do in prep. What I need to see is them sweeping some kind of liquidity. So it's not a minute before I can take any trades. So let's take a quick look here. So those are my targets if we get up here. It's looking very strong for that. This hour candle closure looks like it would be, if we can close strong up here, then I can look for the next candle to come out and take out the all-time high, which again, let's note here. For this day, it's Thursday, so we will see what we're working with. I wish Thinkorswim had the ability for me to use the their tools are a little clunky, if I'm being honest. It's a little clunky. It's a little hard for me to get the setups. I guess for me to say, okay, I want him to sweep this low and then come up here, drop this way, sweep it, shift, order block, and then shift a second time on the 5-minute and then take an entry. It's easier to show it visually on TradingView, but we don't have the same tools here. So now it's really, oh, hello. This might be useful. So we have this, we could use this as a reclaimed fair value gap. If we bust above it, currently we're sitting below it. So let's see how that plays out. I'm gonna drop to the 5-minute, see what we're working with. And yeah, so I'm clear to take a trade. So where is London? So I don't know. It looks like Asia lows at the base of this wick, right, all the way down here. London, this is like 5 a.m. Feels like London's already been taken. I always wonder if I should worry about London after 5. 2 to 4 is when I really like consider London to be anything. And then 9:30 was here. We had a slight sweep right here, and then an engulfing candle. So it's not the kind of sweep I'd be willing to try this on, but this candle looks way too big for even like a 1 micro trade. Something else I need to work on is like estimating how many just by looking at it. But we've had a run up, retracement back into the order block here, fair value gap, bigger fair value gap, tap, tap, run. I like this. I like that we've tapped into this fair value gap. Lately, I've not been a big fan of taking the trades before the hour closure is up. So like this hour still has 30 minutes left in it. It's looking okay, I guess. I don't love that they, swept down, then they did a small sweep here, made an order block, fair value gap, and then ran away. Because where I would need to put my stop is like under here. And I don't like those. I like my stops to be like, okay, so we have sweep of liquidity here, shift in structure, came back down, shifted again, then I can take an entry at the order block or the top of the fair value gap, stop under here. Like that's a nice, clean place for me to do some stuff. This is kind of all over the place and they could come and sweep that out if they want to, but we're in a very strong bullish environment. So given that I would wait for this 10 o'clock candle to close, so let's just push it to 10 o'clock and keep it moving. All right, 10 o'clock. See how that hour candle closed. This is what I'm talking about. Like, you want to wait for these candles to close. Like, what is that? Okay, so it'd be really nice if we swept this out and then gave me something juicy. Or they busted above, left me a fair value gap in here. I could use as an inversion and then go long. But that hour closure was shit. Look at that. This is why I'm saying, like, you gotta have that closure. Problem with this day is that they took the highs and they took the lows, and now they don't necessarily need to do anything. But what they need to do is show some gumption and go continue up in one direction. This candle looked like it was going to do that, and it lied to us aggressively. And I'm saying, like, this looks like an area they want to come and take out. It's not like a protected low, like, you know, this one, or after this shift, that one. You know what I mean? And that's why this, we had a sweep. This is a 5-minute, this would be a 5-minute shift if we close with bodies below here. We get a secondary shift. Like, where would we even, like, aim for? That's midnight open right there. So let's just, or close enough. Let's just call that midnight open. I don't want to take any shorts in this very bullish market. This is like 5 minutes. So you could take it into midnight open or something. Why can't I type? Let's see. Let's take a look at the price here. So we are on the on-demand feature of Thinkorswim. That's, wait, I have put that in the wrong place. Let me fix it. 11:50, 11:55. Okay, midnight opens right here. Actually, it's up there because it opened here and then dropped. I can get it properly. There we go. So this is why I don't like taking the long here, because these lows aren't what I want, and not even my 1 micro could have dealt with this. Now, if we get a sweep of these and then a shift up, then I would be open to it. So again, this is kind of dependent, and I'm taking my vitamins, so don't be weirded out by me putting something in my mouth. This is dependent on closures. It's all about them closures. Anyway, we didn't get to trade on Friday. Looks like I missed some really easy shorts. Honestly, hope everybody caught some of those good trades. Looked really good. All right. 3 minutes into this new hour candle, what does it look like? All right. So again, we're right into this propulsion block, which had 1, 2, 3 candles. Be better if there was more pushing it upwards. Just didn't get that. And now we're down here inside of this fair value gap and tapping into this guy, this order block, which honestly, if I'm thinking about it, on the 15-minute looks pretty decent. But again, I don't like, it's not clean. So, all right, let's go to the 5-minute. See, this closure does not make me want to take any kind of shorts in the middle of this. Like, sweep, body shift, drop, make another 5-minute shift, drop, entry, go. That's what I look for. Give me a protected low like that, or like that. You know, this isn't protected at all. This is liquidity they're creating, manufacturing, to be swept later on. All right, this is annoying as hell. Let's push this to 10:10. See if we can get another 5 minutes into this. That's a problem with them taking the previously high and low in the same before the New York session even started. I don't get a lot of opportunities. I like to do this sideways BS. I need them to sweep all of this out. Sweep it and get rejected before I take a long. So all they've done is created liquidity. I mean, at most they can just ride it back down to midnight open. I'd be open to them sweeping this low, even that one, and then turning around. And maybe we get an opportunity to test out the higher time frame sweep of liquidity, then 5-minute engulfing candle that occurs after that, and see if we can get an entry and test. And maybe that would be my third model. Currently only have two. One, sweep of liquidity, 5-minute shift in structure, second shift break of structure on the 5-minute, enter on the fair value gap or order block. Second one is a continuation trade where price is moving in one direction. They've left 1, 2, 3, 4 fair value gaps. I want to see them roll down to the third fair value gap. Fair value gap. Tap into it, and then leave it with a small 1-minute fair value gap. Tap that entry at the 1-minute fair value gap. Stop below those lows. Bob's your uncle. That's the last trade I took, which was glorious. And I could have taken, I think, 3 micros. I took 1, so I only made 167. But the 1 micro, no joke, is building my confidence. So I feel a lot more comfortable. Especially when sometimes when with the continuation trade and they tap the third fair value gap, they sometimes will sweep that tap one more time and then go. So I took it. I was like, this looks juicy, but in case they do choose to sweep it, then I would take the 1 micro and then maybe add to it, but still not great at the adding. So just got to work on that. All right. So we're waiting for them to sweep some of this foolishness out. They've generated liquidity. I want them to sweep it. And this is BS. This is April 23rd, 10:12 a.m. And we're seeing if we can get anything. It's one of those days where they swept previous day's high, previous day's low already. So it's not awesome. Now, I'm not opposed to a short, but let's be clear though. Look at this. The shorts are short-lived. The longs are going. That's what you want to do. You want to take the longs. Because then, they'll pay you. Right now, this 4 fair value gap is holding up price. No bodies have closed below it. Okay, this is like watching paint dry, and we want to trade, right? We want to take some trades, work on our setup. So let's go to 10:20. And we're at the same blasted place. Oh my God. All right, so this is the morning that I would just take a pass on. For real. It's a morning I would take a pass on. Let's move this to 10:30 and see if there's any movement. Nope. Okay. Let's go to the PM, because when the morning's like this, I will skip to the afternoon. Let's go to 1:30. Okay. So 1:30. So eventually they finally moved without sweeping. They took the all-time highs again. And then they dropped aggressively, and they've taken out all of this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And there's this low here. So honestly, that daily candle probably looks like a just ridiculous. Let's take a look. Okay, it's not a great looking candle. Again, don't love that they've taken both ends of this candle. So this might actually be a no trade day for me. Oof, look at that. Look at that 1 hour candle. That is key. That is just mean. So they take this out. That would be perfectly acceptable to me. And we might just skip this day altogether. Let's move this forward because it's too choppy. I haven't been able to like get anything clean. Let's move this to 140. Okay, so by 140 we've taken out all of this. So that low has been taken out. Now I'd be interested to see if we've got that sweep of liquidity. I'd be interested to see if we get any kind of shift upwards. Though on this particular day, we've taken the highs, we've taken the lows, and now we're dropping again. Ooh, but that's kind of nice. Order block. That's got a bit of a protected high there. But we've taken a ton of liquidity. And where are we going exactly? We've got a few places they can drop into. And looks like we've missed it, whatever this is. So on the 5 minute, I wouldn't have had any kind of an entry. We would have had 1, 2, no return, very, very bearish. This guy, I would have been interested in a short from here with a stop up here. Let me just out of curiosity, you see what that would have looked like on a single micro. Oof. Not great. Yeah. All right, let's move on because this day is not doing anything. So pretty sure I'll probably skip this day anyway. 09, let's go to 940. April, let's go to the daily first. So this whole time we were very bullish. I hope that's not like telling us too much. Let's check to see if there's any news on that day. The 24th, 10 a.m. revised. Okay, so I usually wait for news anyway. Let me get that out of the way. So everything is just bullish. Probably could have gotten something in the PM the day before if we'd waited. Let's see. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like after that drop, I was wondering if like an engulfing candle would have like given us a good entry like this. This didn't engulf, so I wouldn't consider that one. Maybe this one stopped below here. It looks like that would have worked, but we didn't really go anywhere. That's a problem. They moved too much. Anyway, so let's push this to 10 o'clock because there's like, orange folder, and I just wait for that. We've already pushed upwards, so all I would be interested in is longs on this day. So let's go to 10 o'clock. All right, so 10 o'clock has us coming back down to wherever previous all-time high is. Where is London in this day? So all the way down here, and on the 1 hour. Okay, good. All right, so we're jumping back down to this propulsion block and this 1 hour fair value gap. I want to see how they behave inside of that guy. Let's delete that, and let's delete that for now. All right, so that's a nice, I wouldn't mind a tap, a little bit of a rejection off of that. Let's look at this on the 1 minute. Do we get, oh, look at that. Look at that. So we had the rejection, fair value gap. Honestly, if I'd been paying closer attention, I would have taken it right here because this is like a continuation trade for me. So they've run up to this and the one standard deviation. So what I'll do is wait for a 5-minute shift instead, because they've come down and swept a lot of liquidity. We have a small fair value gap here. We've got this one. If we can close above there, we might be able to get like a 1 micro trade, but we gotta wait. I liked this, but it's not exactly my continuation model. It comes close. But it's kind of like a higher time frame fair value gap. I usually use the 5 minutes when there's multiples of them for that. So we're just waiting to see what we're working with. Right now, we've swept a whole bunch. That's the shift in structure. We didn't get a shift until here. So then we're getting a second shift right here. And there's a lot of wicking attached to that. So I'm waiting for a juicy reason to go long. Let's see. But like I said, on the 1 minute, like that looks good, but it's not perfect. I'm honestly tempted, like if we get another push that way, but for now, we're just going to wait and see, because I wouldn't mind another rejection from here. Like see how this 5-minute candle closes. Has another 2 minutes in it. Hey, Bob. Hey, I did really well, actually. I had, how many trades? I got the one trade on Thursday. That was a winner. I should have taken 2 to 3 micros on that one because I had the space for it. But I don't know. I'm kind of into that 1 micro thing right now just to build my confidence. It was good. So it was a green week for me. I made like 460 or 480 or something on the single micros for 3 days of trading. So it's pretty good because on Wednesday I took that one loss you saw and then the second short that covered the loss and made me $100 on top of it. And then I made the two something the day before. So it was pretty good. Or 163, something like that. It was a pretty good week. And good job on that short. I was outside doing manual labor on Friday, so I couldn't catch any of that. Yeah, I am getting my confidence back. Like, no joke, switching to micros and just waiting for exactly what I need to see has been epic. It really, really has. It's just done me a world of good. And sometimes, and honestly, the trade I took on Friday could have been, like I said, it could have been more micros, but I had, for my continuation trade, I usually expect them to like dip into the third fair value gap and then, take the low again for the longs. A second time, they didn't do that. So I took the 1 micro in case they just ran away, and then I'd be okay with that stop being a little bit wider, and then I can enter again when they like sweep it and then shift one more time, but they didn't. Yes, you've been telling me micros for months, and I am Jamaican, and my Jamaicans tend to have big ass weird egos, and we don't listen to people until it's too late. So sorry. Can't help myself. All right. I auditing that. Right. Okay, new 5-minute candle. All right, we're holding above this guy, so that looks pretty decent. So I might be interested if it gives me a clear push up with a fair value gap from here. Oh, we have like this small 1 minute fair value gap with a stop down here, order block here on the 1 minute. Doggone levels. Yep. It's true. They come, they get you, they smack you in the face. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I started trading this live account, if I just followed my original plan, which was to trade micros to start, but I got so salty that Thinkorswim charged the same amount for fees for minis and micros that I was outraged. So I was like, I'm trading 1 mini. And that really screwed me. So I'm honestly happy I learned my lesson. It took a very long time, which is stupid. It took way too long. for me to stop acting the fool. Okay, if this guy closes, it's the tiniest of I don't like that guy. This is moving too slowly. Let's move to 10:10. This is Friday, April 24th. There you go. Technically a shift in this scenario after the sweep is right down here. Let's drop to the 1 minute. That's a nice closure, so I'd be interested in a single micro long from here. And then my stop can be below this low. Assuming I haven't missed it, you know? And then we can aim for the 1 standard deviation. That is a very good question. So the 1 hour looks good for a reversal back up here. Which is very nice. It looks really good for a reversal. Because I wanted to see how they behaved inside of here. Because they tapped into this propulsion block right here inside of this order block. And they've used this fair value gap to run away. Which looks really nice. And the 15 looks really good and primed to continue back up that way. And I hope I haven't missed it, because that's a thing that happens sometimes. Because technically a 5 minute shift is happening here on this this guy, because this candle next to it is the one that, you know, swept everybody out. So this is the like order block that they're just rolling up on. But I was hoping to catch movement on the 1 minute. I'm trying to refine my entries so I'm not always so late. Yeah, very solid rejection. Now I can adjust my entry if this rolls back in and then creates another order block for me. And that would be my normal continuation trade. And then we can like aim for the 1.5. They've already tapped it. So then we could like maybe aim for the other thing that we could do too is we have, let me cancel that. Close that for a second. The other thing we could do is we have a bullish fair value gap here that we could consider reclaimed, given how much time they've spent inside of it. My problem with it is, yep. So if they close above this, it'd be nice if they made me like an order block like they have here, but then didn't actually close above it. If they make me another one, that'd be nice. What was it, 10:13? See if that 1 hour candle's still looking decent. I like this, I like that. Just want I want my stop below here, or if they need to make me another protected low down there. And they're not making any fair value gaps in here. Nothing. This is just a chop zone. So that 1 minute. I wouldn't have minded if they drop back down. This is where I wanted an entry. Who knows? We might still get it if they fly down. So let's put it back. And this is definitely a 1 micro trade. Look at this stop. Jesus. Pretty sure I don't want this stop. Where's the top of the 5 minute order block? Yeah, so it's all, see them closures, man. Actually, I take an entry at the top of this little tiny 5 minute fair value gap right here. We busted above it. This guy should have been a propulsion block, and then that will reduce my potential losses here if this is wrong. But they might not leave this area. They might just drop and then run. See, what did they tap into on the 1 minute? Okay, they tapped this order block on the 1 minute. Okay, so on the 1 minute, they're making an area of interest for me for a an order block here. Tapped into this guy. I don't know. I have a hard time with like staircase action. You know, especially the way I trade now. Like trying to do staircase stuff is hard. And the 1 minute doesn't give me the protected lows that I need either. So this is the 1 minute version of the 5 minute order block. Yeah. I might get left in the dust here. They use the half standard deviation. You know what I haven't tried yet? I haven't tested the 1 minute protected lows. I've seen NQ sweep so many of them that it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. You know what I'm saying, Zane? What? See this little crack in the armor here? I do love that. What's that look like on the 5 minute? So this is technically the shift on the 5 minutes. If I follow my normal process, I'd wait for them to create another 5 minute order block to take an entry off of. I'm wondering if I know there's merit to being a little bit more aggressive, especially with this type of behavior. So I'm kind of like, but the problem is it's still a large stop for a 1 micro. Don't really love that. All right, let's push this forward because this is taking too long. Go to 10:20, 3 minutes plus that 5 minute candle close. Okay. So I'm still just sort of hanging out in here. I don't see a nice closure I like for a 5 minute shift. Well, technically there's a small body above that one. So the next 5 minute order block is the one I'll take. So I'll take this off for now and see if we get something. Let's push price forward a bit because 5 minutes. Okay. So it'd be nice if they use this candle and this candle to create this new order block and then bust above it, then I can take an entry there with a stop below here. That'd be nice. Okay, we just need TOS to catch up with me since I've been pushing price. That 50-minute candle does not look great at all. It's got the 1 hour. Ugh. But there's still like 30 minutes left in this 1 hour candle. Let's be honest, right? There's still 30 minutes left in it. So it has time. So we had a shift here. Let's see if this 5 minute candle can make us an order block and then maybe we can take it here. I think my entry was actually supposed to be here. Let's put it back and see if that would have worked. This big ass 1 micro stop. All right, so there we are. We're in on this not awesome setup. So we're between a rock and a hard place. We were rejected. Where's my stop here? I put it here. So let's see if we are absolutely positively wrong. Now, this is not my normal setup. This is a more aggressive one that I want to test to see if that will be better for me overall. All right, let's look at the 15-minute candle. All right, so we got 1 micro, so we'll shoot for the hills with that 1 micro. Once we get out of here, then we can get some propulsion, some movement. Let's look at that 1 hour. Oof. There's still what? 30 minutes left in that hour candle. Jeez, that's a mean looking candle. But it would have to come back down to give me that entry. So let's push this forward to 10:30 and see if we just took a silly trade, which is possible. Anything's possible. Okay, so new 5 minute candle, propulsion block. If we bust below this low, then we're really hosed. So we would need to turn around. So far, the reason why I like this is we had these order blocks here. Nobody nobody's closed a body below that, so the expectation is a continuation that way, but who the hell knows, right? Let's push this forward 5 minutes, so see what we get. So we tap this guy, and we're still respecting this body. I know you did. I know you did. I know you kicked ass and took names last week with them trades. I'm very proud of you. And you had so much patience. It's awesome. 1040. There we go. Let's push up. That's better. That's the expectation. Now, if we can get out of this sideways 1 hour hell, then we're cooking with Crisco. Yeah, you were trading real juicy last week, Bob. Well done, you know? Well done. And technically, I don't need like a ton. I need like just these highs, but you know, from this entry to up here should be pretty decent. Let's put it there. Let's see. It should be at least 200 on that single micro, right? All right, let's push this to 1045. See if we can get some continuation up. There we go. Looking good. Let's move this way so it can catch up with me and my time jumping. Rosetta. Yeah, no joke though. Like waiting for that liquidity is epic, because once you get that liquidity sweep, you get way more that you can get. Like almost every trade I've taken has been 100 points, you know, with a single micro. So I just know that once I add another one and another one, and I'm still taking the same 100-point trade, man. Like what? That's gonna pay. So I've been making 200, 2-something, 164 on a single micro. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful life with my levels. Hey, Abinar, what's going on? Yeah. That liquidity sweep is life. I'm telling you, like it really like hooks you up. How was your week, Abinar? All right, look at that movement. Maybe we can, I'm hoping we can get this extreme up here. Beautiful. So usually at this point, once it's over like 120, 130, I move my stop. I reduce my stop. Well, I reduce my stop to a little bit more. So let's do that. Yup. And once it hits like 200 on a single micro, I will literally like lock in the 200 and then see if we can't ride it to the top. I really had some weak hands on Thursday though. Like I could have gotten my full pull last Thursday. I don't know why I let that one little down close candle mess with me, but it did. It really did mess with me. A slow one for me got caught in some chop. Can't catch them all. Hey, that's true. And chop will get you every time. For real. Like, I've been in the last couple of weeks, and at least 2 trades that looked like they weren't going to get choppy, and they just turned into chop. And then I've been sitting in trades for like 2 hours, man, just like, watching paint dry. And then when I post my videos, I condense it down to 5 minutes. But that 5 minutes is like an hour and a half, 2 hours long trades. And no audio because I'm working too, so y'all don't want to hear me blah, blah, blah about work. So bad. All right, let's keep pushing this up. If we can get above here, we should be able to get some acceleration. All right, it's 10:48. Let's take it to 10:55. And that hour candle should be looking a lot better. There you go. Very nice. So that hour candle should be looking a lot more. What the? Wait. What? Did that just tell me my trade was about to get hosed? You just do that. So we're up like 152. So about this point, I would just put it to break even and call it a day. Anyway. or at least below we got this big order block. Wait, did it just tell me like my trade is about to get hosed for real? Or was that the hour candle reforming after? Because earlier it was like that. Oh, that was a weird little glitch. Oh, that's weird. So that's the actual hour candle, not that other one. That was weird. Okay. Anyway, so this is looking juicy. Could probably get 200 right about here, but let's see if we can get back up here. Make a little extra cheddar. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Like, because once they leave this area after they spend so much time, because I was gonna do that, but I wanted it to, and I did it anyway, but I wanted it to like accelerate away from it some more, you know? And then I can, once they've accelerated away from it, I'm expecting some sort of pullback to make another nice protected low for me. And then I move my stop even higher and see if we can't get a little more out of this puppy. Nah, I'm saying, nah, mean. Exactly. And then I could like, from here, we're in a good place. Popping 300s. Yeah, let's go. Because then we have this high right here. And if I recall, yeah, very nice candle. We're coming up on what would be like my ceiling for 1 micro. Because I'm okay to take 200, 205 just to cover fees. Because like 474 round trip for fees on a micro. So what I like is, and let's check the 15 minutes. I don't want there to be a 15-minute fair value gap forming. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Let's go. Okay, let's push it to 11 o'clock and see where we get. Oops, not so many. And then we can move on to the next week. All right, so potential fair value gap forming on the 15-minute here. Let's drop to the 5-minute. So what I'd like to see as we head towards my TP is as they're getting close to it, they do like to sometimes pop back down and make a new low. Then that's where I'd like to put my stop. But it'd be really nice for once if they would just run straight up. Because I'm never in those trades. Bob's in those trades. Well, there's a close above the market structure shift. Yes, there is. So this guy right here, this down close candle with this low, so that's the market structure shift for me. Nice juicy close, so they can come back down and make me another order block if they like. Thanks for the heart. Mwah, mwah. So now we want to see some acceleration. We've got a potential like, what does ICT call this? He calls it where you have a fair value gap down, up. It's been reclaimed entirely. So balanced price range. There we go. So this area is like a balanced price range. So they just need to just go. And no joke, whenever I'm in a trade with NQ, she never just runs. She just meanders slowly, painfully. Yeah, you did. I watched you make that, and that was quick. That was in a couple of minutes. I was like, I'm so jelly. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how do I get entries that are a little bit more aggressive so I can get into those quicker moves? Because when they do those initial push, that's the fast portion of the move. When they retrace back and then they start moving up again, that's the slow portion of the move. And I'm always in the slow portion of the move. Yes, you were 10 micros deep. That was a pretty boss trade. Well done. Well done. That was a very nice trade. I'm not even looking at my journals. I don't even know what trades I took on this week. So, but the way I'm trading now is working for me. I love it. I'm winning I'm winning. I'm finally starting to see some kind of a green streak coming through. I am now down to 500 in drawdown, down from 1800, and that's with One micro trades, y'all. One micro trades. It's incredible. Any disparaging thoughts I had about micros or just trading a single micro is poof out the wind. Okay. You can make lots of money with micros. Let me push this up to 11:10 so we can move on to the next week. All right. So we're thinking here, what does this 15-minute look like? Okay, so this area here, I kind of expected a bit of a pause and maybe a retracement. And the 1 hour candle, okay, yeah, so that guy's looking. So actually, I might change my TP to like the midpoint of that wick, because those wicks are like gangsta, you know, or at least know where the midpoint is, so I can, because I don't need the all-time high, right? Oops, I don't need a second one. Hold on. Let me get rid of that, delete that guy. And I don't know if I'm shortchanging myself, because part of the thing is I want to see how they behave at the midpoint of the wick, so I know, okay, we haven't even made it to it yet. Okay. Because for me, wicks are like fair value gaps, right? Oh no, they haven't made it back up to this wick yet. This one, yeah, this 1 hour wick. So I want to see them close above that puppy to get to my TP. So right around here is about $200. We gotta, if we can get some movement pushing upwards, let's get that protected low, you guys. Let's get that protected low. Let's move this forward 5 minutes, because we've taken too long. Need to go. Okay, see, so we tapped the midpoint of the wick, right? So let's let it, yeah, so now we're just tapping the midpoint of that wick. There's a fair value gap here that I'm interested in. Seeing them, I'm just going to repurpose this guy. Seeing them tap and turn around so I can move my stop. And then once they get past that wick, then my TP's golden. I could have also TP'd at the midpoint of the wick, and then we'd be out and we'd have 200 and change or whatever. So let's see. It's now 11:16. We've tapped the midpoint. Right around here is about 216. So I'm tempted, no joke, like if we go to the 1 minute, I'm tempted to just move my stop to like right here so I can like lock in the 200 on the micros. Because I don't want to give that back. We'll see how we behave on that wick. So we didn't bother to come back down. It's 224. Come on. Let's get up there. All right, let's move this forward to 11:20. A couple more minutes. Because no joke, when it starts to get really close to my TP, I start to, you know, I know every trader like has this feeling, like you start to feel anxious and you want to start to close out, you know. Oh, the entry was right here. It's this green candle right here, this green line, 27,201. Because I wanted an entry at the inversion of this fair value gap right here. Stop below here. And that's the more aggressive entry. Now I want this to turn into its own protected low, so I can move my stop right here and let it continue on its way. Let's move this forward another 5 minutes because that's taking too long. We've only got one day done. 120 points. It's about 100 points. Once you see a $200 on a single micro, it's about 111 points, 108, something like that. All right. So if this guy turns into a higher low for this, then I'm going to move my stop to here, and life is like a box of chocolates and I don't care. And then we'll go that way. Technically, they've come in and tapped 0 and 1. Yeah. Oh, no big deal just because it's 100 points. It's just nothing scared. You know, you just made 100 points and you're like, what? Yeah, look, it's 1 micro, man. I can fight tooth and nail for like 1 micro. All right, so now I'm waiting for them to make me another low. make me another low, and then I can move my stop some more and lock in even more. But yeah, imagine that, right? 100 points on a single mini. So that $200 is now 2,000 on one mini, right? So eventually I'm going to get there, and that's going to be perfectly fine. I'll be perfectly happy. Just got to build that confidence back, like just got to build the confidence. Let's move this to 11:30. Let's see where we're at. And I've learned the hard way not to move my stop too early with NQ. Oh yes, did we close above the 50% of that wick? Looking good. Looking good. All right, so on the 15-minute, don't have a fair value gap. Just this guy, we didn't come back down to it. Let's see what we do. If we move up this, if we take this high out, then I'll move my stop to that low on the 5-minute. And then we'll just wait for TP. So I move it here. Made itself a nice order block. That rejection is looking juicy. I want this to push up. It is chump change, right? Looking good. All right, we took that high out, so I move my stop right here. Now we've got an entry here, stop up here. We're close to TP. We're gonna move this to the 1 minute because sometimes Thinkorswim does not like to kick you out of the trade or get you into the trade if it's too if the time frame's too high. So we're close. You can do it. Let's go. We're close. What time is it? 11:31. Why is it up here? It's one of the one standard deviation. And honestly, like with a movement like that, I put my stop right at the 50%. As we're getting closer, I would just start to lock it in. Let's lock in some more at this low right here, right below the 50% of that wick. Treating it like a fair value gap, the wicks. Come on, you can do it. We're so close. So the counter here is what we would have made the week ending April 24th trading micros. So now that we've bypassed $200 on these micros, yeah, technically my stop should be here on the 1 minute, but come on. We're so close. You can do it. But guess what? Whenever you're close to your TP, they like to turn around and give you ulcers. Look, it's right there. What is it doing? It's turning around, wanting to give me ulcers. All right, let's go to the 5 minutes. And let's see. Oh, I'm at the base of this 5-minute candle, and it's got 3 minutes in it. So that 5-minute candle can screw me if it wants to. So areas of interest, we got a little 1 minute propulsion block with this order block. Oh yeah, I'll be at 2 micros in no time. And then I'll be doubling my muns. All right, we're gonna put this back to where we had it originally, just so that we don't like lose out on the full TP. Because once we tap, I'm expecting them to tap this and then just keep going. We bust below this propulsion block, I'm gonna be pissed. But I don't really use the 1 minute very much anymore. So I'm dropping to the 1 minute because I want to track. I want when they get me out of here that I can get knocked out simply enough. Really? All right, let's push this to 11:35 and let's close this candle out. Okay. The thing that's important is them staying above the 50% of this wick. So let's push it to 11:40 and then maybe we get our TP. Let's see. Oh, nah. Oh, no. All right, let's let this catch up. Let's look at this 1 hour candle. They're trying to fight staying above this 50% of this wick, man. It's 15 minutes. Let's see. Okay, so things I might do with it behaving like this. I don't like that, so I might put my stop below this wick again, honestly, just so I don't get kicked from this trade. If we see it moving in our favor, because that happens to me a lot, right? Like where I get kicked. Yay, hearts, woo! Let's go to 11:45. Oh! Wow! See, that's what happens, right? Like this, they do this just before my TP. This is what happened to me on Friday. They do this before my TP, and then I'm like, enough. I've been in this trade for like 2 hours, and I just close. And then right after I close, I just blow right through it. Like, rude. All right, so this is what I would have made 767 on that week, trading the way I trade on micros. Beautiful. And I'm so proud of myself. Like, I made like 460, 480 last week on a single micro. Come on. I took one loss last week. I think one trade on Tuesday, two on Wednesday, four trades. So on Wednesday, one loss, one win. All right, let's move to the next week. So final week of April, we can finally get up out of April and trade some May action. Should have gone for that 1.5. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Let's move on to the next week. Let's also reset that because we don't want that to compound. We just want to know what would make that week. All right. So let's delete that guy, and then 2 standards is available. All right. So we've got a day. Oh, let's also check to see if there's any news that week. Okay, and no news Monday. They really pay. Those Microsofts pay. They do. They really pay. All right, so we have a nice, clean, no news day here. So what would I like? We've taken the highs here. We've been going aggressively up. Could run into, again, let's be clear. These candles, they lie. So one time I was in Thailand with some friends and we were at one of these temples, and 2 of my friends were walking in front, right? And she made the mistake of taking her wallet out, right? And so the kids saw that she had cash on her, right? So then as soon as they saw that she had cash, they rolled up to her and asked her for $1. And she's like, I don't have any cash. That little girl looked up in this girl's face and said, you lose. I died laughing. She had to pull money out her wallet and give all them kids $1. All them kids. I'm like, why would you lie to these kids? Give them $1. What you doing? What you doing? That kid put her in her place. And so every time you hear me say, you lie, that's why. I was like, we walked past them being sworn by kids. I was like, It's still funny. It's still funny. Oh my God, I'm just dying. That little girl, I never forgetting that, man. You lie. She had all the swing and everything. Oh, that made me so happy. Yeah, I can't tell you. You laugh. I'm still laughing. Anyway, sorry. Oh man, that's a good memory right there. All right, what we got? It's a Monday. We got no 4-hour fair value gaps. Let's clear this out. Oh my God, you lie. Oh no. Okay, they've swept London, they swept Asia, and we got 2 1-hour fair value gaps. Let's see how we behave inside of this guy. Let's make that. Oh man. Anyway, yeah. So every time I look at these like daily candles and it's looking like it's gonna be one way, I think that to myself. I'm like, you lie. And then I come back later and it did lie, like aggressively. Oh, so good. Oh, this would be like 6 o'clock when the market opened again if they sweep that out. Got a 1 hour order block here. So they swept a lot of liquidity, so I don't need this one, but if they sweep it, great. We've got a fair value gap that they've tapped into and run away aggressively from. And oh, so they had a gap down opening. They filled that toot sweet very quickly. And we got a fair value gap up here. So technically this looks like the previous day's type of trade, honestly. So let's look at the 15-minute real quick. And we have no news. So having swept all of these out, London, Asia, all of it, all I need is a clear sweep shift upwards, which we got 1, 2, 3, 4 down close candles. It have to be above that. Retrace, shift one more time, and then I'll get an entry. You laugh. It still cracks me up. To this day, I was dying. I'm like, don't pull your wallet out and tell people and pull money out and then go lie to some children and tell them you ain't got nothing. Oh, I bought some stickers. I was at Five Below yesterday, and I found some Grogu stickers. I hope those come across okay, so I can put them on my laptop. So I got some cute ones in here. I love Baby. Man, when he came out as Baby Yoda, oh, that was so cool, so cool. But he's not Baby Yoda. He's Grogu. All right, what do we want? So we have the open at 6 right here. If they sweep that, no muss, no fuss. Where's London High in all of this? Oh, they already took that out too. Ha ha! But they're dropping pretty aggressively. And what does that hour candle look like? Oof. Yeah, that hour candle's looking real bearish. So, given that I'm quite bullish on this day, I'm going to push this to 10 o'clock so I can see what the hour candle closes as, because we are backtesting, not sitting around waiting like we do during the week for those perfect conditions to take that trade. Would be nice, right? Oh, what did I say? Now is the new model for candles. You left! You left! What we just say about these candles, man? What we just say about these candles? Because they some lying ass candles. Yeah, that wick looks a little too much for my poor little stop. My 1 micro stop. This one's already tapped in, so it might run. For real. These candles, man, they're big liars, man. So there is this is juicy, right? So there is this thing I wanna backtest where whenever you sweep like higher time frame liquidity, previous day low, London, Asia, whatever, and then there's a engulfing 5-minute candle. I assume this would be like an engulfing 15-minute candle. Let's see. Then take the entry at the top of the engulfing candle. Whoa. Whoa, Nelly. The problem is I don't have a stop. There's not a 1 micro stop that I can use that will, take care of me for that. So there's a fair value gap here. Technically, it'd be nice if they tap this one more time and then I can put my stop below here. But I don't know if they want to come back down. Let's look at what that would look like as on a 1 micro. Now this is like a more, so this is not so bad. If they come back down here, that'd be nice. They don't have any reason to come back down here. It just would be nice. in my mind. It would be nice. Technically, in the 5-minute entries here, with this shift. So what I'm waiting for now, after that sweep of liquidity, we've got a market structure shift right here, juicy. So I want them to go up. I want them to come down. I want them to make me another order block with a protected low. So higher low, lower low, protected low. And then I can get into a long. And then I can see if they want to go all the way up here to 2 standard deviations, or at least take the highest up, whatever pays me more. You know what I'm saying? Though I will, because I really don't want them to come back and tap this, but let's be honest, they do have the ability to do so. But they don't have a reason to come back down here. But who the hell, what do we know, right? Nasdaq does whatever the hell she wants. She's like her own lady, and she's a lady that is like rude most days. Okay, how do I get these off of here? I want to put baby Grogu on here. I'm gonna put this guy. That one. Woo. There we go. It's too much glare. Sorry. The camera's not gonna focus properly. Anyway, I'm gonna put Grogu on my laptop, and then my last laptop had like a ton of anime characters on them. Anyway, let's push this forward. Few minutes, see if we get what we're looking for. Let's go to 1010 here. Okay, so there's a potential for a long here, but again, all about that 1 hour candle. And right now that 1 hour candle is telling me it wants to go down. So I'm not going to take a long here. But if we tap it and run back up. Okay, so what? You just lied to me? All right. Okay. So there's a potential for a long here, but it doesn't really follow my model. And this dropping into this order block doesn't follow my model. But if we bust above this puppy one more time, we make a nice protected low, then I can get another 1 micro trade off of that. But these candles, they lie. Until they close, they are big, fat liars. So far, this daily candle is a doji. It's a bearish doji looking like. Don't love that. The 4 hour is fighting to continue up higher. Wait. Let's let it actually catch up. Because it's having a moment. Oh, I never did the speed up thing. Okay. The 4 hour is coming down, sorta-ish, not really. The 1 hour is thinking about its life choices. And I should have taken the long at yeah. So now I want to see it push up. Because we've had one shift here. I want to see it push up. Again, this would have been an aggressive entry for me because it's not really my way. And maybe one day I'll get there, but I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, I'm gonna guess the bottom and take guess where they're gonna turn around. No. It's a very structured scenario that I work with. So right now we've swept a bunch of liquidity. We've shifted structure, and now we're making another order block with a protected low, hopefully. And it'd be nice, honestly, if there was like a inversion, a fair value gap that we could use as an inversion in here, but there isn't. So, boo. Let's check 15 minutes. Yeah. Anyway, so let's wait. So I like that. So we're waiting for them to shift above here. If they don't shift above here, then they might want to continue down lower, and you might get a short into here, given the aggressive nature of the candle, the 1 hour candle. But they've swept so much. I don't like shorting into areas where they've already taken a ton of liquidity. But until this candle turns bullish, taking a long doesn't make any sense. So I'm just waiting. But if I take in this aggressive entry, what's that look like on the 1 minute? Okay, so tap here. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't have a ton of, so I want to go long. And now after all that movement, we're going sideways. All right, let's push this forward to 1020. Let's say 1025. Let's push it forward a bit more. Okay. So we have rejected multiple times. So my thought for an entry here, my stop would still be down here. No place to potentially move it. So I'm waiting for a shift up. That's what I'm waiting for. If we don't get it, I don't take a trade. It's just that simple. I guess honestly, we could take a shift down to the base of this or the midpoint of that wick. The problem is I don't know if it's worth it on a single micro. Like I'm trying to make 200 or more on a single micro if I can. And I can't quite, what is that? 259 down to 297. Oh, 359 to like 297. Nope. Can we go up, please? All right. Let's move this to 10:30 because half an hour is an hour's 10 to. Help a sister out. All right. We swept down. Problem with this, like I said, like if the lows hadn't already been taken, then I might have been interested in the short, but they've taken so much. They could be running they could be running like Friday, which I missed entirely. I missed all of Friday. So this 1 hour candle again is very bearish, digging into this. This one tagged the order block and rejected from it really aggressively. I'd like to see it stay above the midpoint of this one and then run back up again. But that looks like it wants to drop some more. So let's see. Without taking that second, so the other thing I need to work on is when I'm waiting for that second shift for confirmation, if I don't get it, then I should feel comfortable taking the short the opposite direction because it showed me it doesn't want to go up anymore, right? Right. So this would have been an easy short, like from the top here to like the bottom, and then move your stop pretty aggressively because they've already taken all these lows. But all right, let's go to 1040 because I don't care about any of this action. I'm looking for longs. All right, so we now have a new sweep of liquidity, that's not a shift. That's a wick above. I need the bodies. I'm finding the wicks don't really tell me that they've shifted liquidity. They've not. They've just... So right now, all they've done is run back up into the range. Ugh, this is annoying. Let's push it forward. This is why trading requires so much patience. Come on. All right, let's go to 1050. You need patience. I think that's why a lot of folks give up, is just they don't have the patience that they need to become really profitable traders. You need that patience. That patience is life. So I have a hard time like taking, like, so I'm tempted to take a long at this 1 hour order block, stop below here. And that's mainly because they've failed to take the low out and then they're starting to move back up, but they're still in the range. And that's why I don't like looking at the 1 minute, because the 1 minute just gives me too many bad ideas. And then whenever the range is like this, you might even want to go to the 15 minute even, you know? So we're going to have to wait for this hour candle to close. Let's just close it out because we're sitting here waiting for something juicy and we've got nothing. Not a short follow through, not a long follow through. Maybe the next hour. Ugh. Guys, what the hell, man? Well, all these wicks tell me they don't want to go. They want to go down. Okay. And with that hour closure, they're respecting this low, this order block, and this low, and we haven't closed any bodies below here. So let's be a little crazy and let's take a 1 micro long from here. Whoops. Oh, it just popped me in right one time. And actually, with that 1 micro long, I can actually put it below here. And wouldn't it be funny if I get my ass handed to me right as I decided to try something in this chop? So I don't trade chop. All right, let's go to 1105. Because once we leave this chop zone, oof. Yeah, so this is not a well thought out. I think this is me now becoming frustrated and tired of waiting. And sorry guys, this is not my normal setup. Like, we didn't wait for what we were supposed to wait for. So this is a more aggressive entry because of the rejections here. But they're still slowly pushing downward, and I really should have considered that. So this is one of those moments where I would just have to take my licks. For real. Just have to take my licks. And it looks like I'm gonna get owned. So I'm actually tempted to just put my stop back to here. To here. What does that new hour look like? Them buyers be fighting. It's just the way they've been rejecting from this area. I knew I'd have to sit through a lot of bullshit, which is why my stop's all the way down here, but what a pain. All right, new hour. Let's see if we can get some follow through, eh? Let's, oh, where's my TP? This is 1.5. Let's plop it at a even number, wherever the high is. We got some equal highs up here. That's all-time highs. Let's just go for that, right? All right, so we took this based off of the way they're wicking and staying about the midpoint of this fair value gap. It's not my perfect entry, but it's a more aggressive one. And it's probably gonna like hose me because it's not my normal setup. So we will see. Let's try and catch up with this. Let TOS catch up with my decision here. All right, let's push it forward to 1120. It's like one of those days where you're gonna be sitting in a trade for like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, oof, yeah, it's a bad idea because we're just slowly rolling down. And slowly digging in there. All right, let's go to 1125. Yep, about to get stopped out for being a dum-dum. All right, let's just get out of this foolishness and just put our stop right there. We already knew it was a stupid trade. We didn't mean to really take it, so let's move our stop right there. And you know what? Let's just take our licks like the big girls we are, okay? Like the big girl we are. Let's just take the lick and just deal with it. This is the V shape. That's where the stop needs to be. So we just gonna have to take the stop out. The problem is I'm trying to figure out how to be more aggressive, especially in areas where it looks like it has the potential to continue up in the opposite direction. But this day was probably not the best one for it, because look at that. So trying to take a long into a downtrend. Not great, but I was loving this, loving this, not loving that. But they are tapping into this order block, so I'm hoping that they'll stay, they'll use the wick and keep going that way. We've used it here as for propulsion or support. I don't see why we couldn't have run back up from over here, but what do I know? All right, it's 11:30. And just a slow grind down just to give me ulcers. Jeez, what an annoying. Probably should just put the entry here since we were just like puttering about in this general vicinity. Then the stop would have been a little smaller, but it's just a single micro. Anyway, let's push this forward 5 to 11:35. Okay, so we swept that. And can see our entries here, stops here, and TPs are the equal highs, which is at all-time highs. Of course, if it ever gets to 205, I will lock it in because give me my money on a single micro. Not micro. Words are hard. All right. Let's take it to 11:40. So far, we have not been stopped out because we didn't put our stop in a silly place. And it looks like we might be turning around again. I don't know. Maybe we get lucky. We don't get hosed on this terrible. Okay, not terrible, not great trade. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it to catch up with me. All right, so 15 minutes looking okay. The 1 hour is looking like it wants to turn around. But remember, these candles, they lie. All right. So looks like we survived this foolishness for the moment. So we have to like literally get past all of this foolishness before I feel any kind of safety in this trade. All right, let's move it to 11:45. Let's push forward. Okay, so I like this, but we're just back into this. So we need to get over this before we can get anywhere. Let's go to 11:50. It's one of those days just being a trade for like 2 hours, like high resistance man trading is what we're looking at right here. I usually try to avoid these days as much as possible. So they've made another protected low here. I can probably move my stop to after taking that one out. If we can bust upwards, I'll move it to here. If we get any kind of, push up into this fair value gap or this high, really don't need all-time highs. I'll just readjust my thought process is. Let's push this to 11:55 and see how this 5-minute candle closes. Whoops. Because we are not out of the woods with this stupid trade. All right, so we're back up in here at the top, respecting the top of this, respecting the 1 hour order block over here. So can we get out of this space, please? Okay, let's push it to lunchtime. Goodness gracious. Every time I have to sit through a trade during lunch, it just takes forever. All right. What's that 1 hour candle looking like? Looking very rejecty from here. The next 1 hour candle will tell us if we're going to get a reversal this way. We've tried once, we've tried twice, we've tried third time to get down here. And we've been rejected, so I don't know what we're going to get. What I like to see, though, is when these candles start to form, I want them to drop in the opposite direction from where I want them to go, create a wick, and then go in the other direction. That's what I want. So so this, her pushing down does not bother me. I want her to do that so she can create the wick so she can go in the opposite direction. So we're only 2 minutes in, so we will see if she does that and then turns around. All right, now that she has done something, let's do 12:05. Nice looking candles there. Ugh, God, seriously, some high resistance trading, you guys. All right, let's go to 12:10. Can we get out of here, please? Okay. And I'm pushing around the time so that TOS can catch up with me. So it's looking good to continue that way if we can get away from all of this. And if we look to the left, we're just sort of sitting in a chop zone here. But the reason why I wanted to take the long is because of the rejections here. And the higher time frame is bullish, like excessively bullish. So I'm expecting this to be some sort of just rejection, just retracement, continuation. Because the 1 hour that's what it looks like. Sweep of liquidity. 4 hour is looking, it's trying real hard it's trying to come down, but the buyers are stepping in. But we're stuck in a sideways space still. So let's push time forward because we've only gotten through 3 days, guys. This is ridiculous. Let's go to 12:20. Let's push. Even with like a 10-minute push, we're like barely in the green here. We got to get out of this area. It's out of control, you guys. All right, let's push it to 12:30. See what we get. 12:30. We haven't moved our stop because this is the kind of trade I like to avoid because it's just such a pain. Like taking the trade after we've left this area, we get a nice push up, fair value gap, a little order block, or maybe a propulsion block. Beautiful, but this BS right here, it drives me nuts. So we've come really close. We've been in drawdown for the most part of this trade. It's not one of my favorites. It's not even an A+ trade for me. I would consider this like a B. Because maybe even a C, because my only thoughts on this one was we swept all of this liquidity, like a ton of it, and then we've been rejecting off of this fair value gap. So we're just using it in the hopes that it wants to push up, but that's not a real trade. So I'm just sad because it's not really a trade I would really take. Let's push this to 12:40. Because obviously we're just going to sit around and twiddle our thumbs for like oh my God, for like 2 hours. This thing is probably not going to move up until after 1 o'clock. Let's go to 12:45. Oh my God. So the most I'll do is move my stop to this low right here because they swept some more, so giving us another protected low. Reduce my exposure there. Let's take this to 12:50. With all of this chop, and the probability of wanting to move my stop to here just to not take a loss is high, but at the same time, if this does move, once it leaves this area, it should skyrocket that way. So let's go to 1 o'clock. Let's close this hour out because, wow. So we would have been in this trade for like at least 2 hours already. Okay, so I like this. Trace back down, give me another protected low, bust above it. Now you've given me a place I can put my stop in profit now comfortably. So, or semi-comfortably, I should say. And how did that hour candle close? Weak. Okay. All right, let's continue pushing this forward. Jesus, taking forever. Come on, give me a good closure up top. Ugh, jeez. Well, I actually kind of like that. If the next candle does that, then it's really a protected low, not, because it could come back and sweep that and then run up again, So where are we? Are we still at the Monday? Jeez, this is gangsta. Okay, we sort of took that high out with the wick. So at this point, I'm going to go to basically break even right here. I'm not even going to put it here until it starts moving away. At least I won't take a loss on this awful, awful trade. Jeez, I'm peace. Let's push it for another 5 minutes. Finally. Oh, finally some movement. Let's put it under here now. We can. All right, so I need to know where 200 is because I just don't want to be in this trade for much longer. So this is 94. Let's put it at this 1 standard deviation. That should give us a nice little payday on this guy. Because I said we would adjust our TP based off of the movement. And this movement sucks. This new hour candle is... It's not great, but I like it. I like the TP here into the closing the fair value gap. And I don't have to look for a full, oof. Okay. We're going to get stopped out. If this low is actually protected, we won't get stopped out. But this is some high resistance stuff, so they can drop even lower. Let's close this 5-minute candle to 120. Nothing's worse than sitting in a trade for like 4 hours and then getting stopped out of said trade. You know what I'm saying? That's just ridiculous. And honestly, I really don't care about, this is a 1 micro trade. So I'm going to move this down, give myself a little more room, but I'm not going to put it below my entry, which is this green line right here. There's just no way. Let's let it catch up. New 5-minute candle. And then we'll probably get stopped out for like $8 or something. And that's fine. What's not fine is sitting in this damn shade for like freaking 3 hours. Now, this low might be worth its weight in gold. Because we've come close to it. We're not looking like we're going to close below it. If we start pushing back up, this is why I like these protected lows, because they usually do this BS and then, run away. Let's push this to 125. Okay. All right. Okay. These candles that do these quick movements, man, I don't know, man. All right, we're going to put our stop back to where it was, toward the protected low that they created for us on the 5-minute. We came up, we swept that. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your breakfast. I'm going to chill here until 12, get another day or so in, hopefully. Oh, that's not where I wanted my stop. Right here. Underneath that low. Yeah. All right, enjoy your Sunday. I'm gonna go watch Masters of the Universe after this. So I got a hard stop at 12. He-Man, go! So that's why I take these stops right here. High, order block, because they do this bullshit and then run. So let's see if we can't get some. Come on, let's just go back up to this 1.5 standard deviations. You can do it. You can do it. All right, let's push this Let's push this to 10:30 or 1:30. God, we would have been in this trade for like 4 hours, bro. I mean, what the hell? Okay, let's push it to 1:45. Let's move on. This is driving me nuts. Okay, so beautiful. So here's the actual entry I would have taken for this trade, you guys. Like once we had a sweep here, shift, sweep here, then I would have taken it at this. Technically, oh, looks like my entry would have been close to this one. You see this little break right here? This is where I would have taken my entry if I hadn't taken this more aggressive one. Weirdly enough, it's close to the actual entry. So we're up 119 after this ridiculous trade. If we dipped into this tiny fair value gap, we bust up. I can move my stop here. Let's move this to 155. Okay, so what we have here is a 5-minute fair value gap that's held price down. So once we bust above this puppy, we should just go straight to TP, I think. All right, and then we've tapped into this order block and that tiny fair value gap. So let's go to 2 o'clock. Man, this trade is ridiculous, you guys. For real. All right. So funny, my entry would be here, my stop would be here. So it's pretty close to where I would normally be taking this trade anyway, so. Yep, I'm excited to trade next week. I'm wondering, since Friday was such a big bearish candle, if, you know, and they swept a shit ton. I'm wondering if Monday is going to be more of a sideways indecisive candle, since they've done so much work on Friday. So I guess we'll see though. All right, let's go to 1205. Let's go to 210. We want to trade another day. This is ridiculous. It's taking up like the whole time. Okay, let's go to 220 because this thing is moving at the speed of nothing. Oh my God. Are we in another like spot for consolidation? We are. Jeez. Can we please just go? These are the types of days you don't want to be trading. This thing is just, well, technically if you'd waited for this shift and then the second shift entry here, you wouldn't have been sitting in this trade as long, because I took it inside of all this bullshit. This one driving me nuts right here. Oh my God, let's go to 230. I want to move on to the next day, guys. This is crazy. Wow. 131 here, and we're just, once it busts past this, I think we might get a decent amount. I might be tempted to try and just go for that high right there. All right. Jeez, this is gonna take hours. It's been hours. It's literally been like, like a 4-hour trade now? Goodness gracious. All right, let's go to 240. It's at least 4 hours now. All right. All right, so we're down a little push. Okay, let's go 5 more minutes. We're coming down now just to be a okay. So 250. Nothing's gonna be worse than if this comes out and knocks me out for what is essentially just a little bit above break even. Ridiculous. Like 4 hours for this bullshit? No. Let's push another 5 minutes. The hour is about to close, about to be 3 o'clock. Oh my God. This is a terrible day to put it to 3 o'clock. I used to be afraid of 3 o'clock, you guys. Do you know? It's so crazy. Like, I used to be afraid of 3 o'clock. Like, that hour would sweep you out and then run you back into you know, like a good setup. All right, what have we done? We've come down to this guy. So I'm expecting, what's this hour? Move back up now. So we got rejected. Come on, Bulls, you can do it. Go, go, go! I've been in this trade so long that I would just be like, you know what? All right, let's push this to 310 and see where we are at, because OMG, we might not get the movement we need. We might not get any more movement with this. We might only get something like just before 4. Finally, can we get past this? Jeez, all right, we just keep pushing it. We're like 10 minutes now. We're pushing it 10 minutes. Ugh, this fair value gap is just bearish fair value gap, just doing its job. All right, it's 330. Let's go to 340. 5-hour trade. Oh my God. Okay. Let's go to 350. Just before 4 o'clock. What are you gonna do? Oh my God. We're finally trying to move up. Okay. Let's go to 355 because we've just gone up here. Okay. At this point, I'm just gonna lock it in. I don't care anymore because this is ridiculous. And let's go to 4 o'clock. So I'm trying to get over this fear of what happened? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I wonder if, because my stop on my TP went away. Did you see that? Why did they go away? What? What? What is happening? Why did it disappear? Just because I put it to 4 o'clock? Let's put it back for like 15:55, just because I want to know what happened. 15:59. Is that right? Is that accurate? Yeah. Because I want to know what happened to my stop. Okay, so it just disappeared. That's a weird quirk. All right, whatever. Let's go to 410. Because, you know, we're still in this trade somehow. I don't even think we're going to be able to flatten this at all. Because yeah, like I can't even flatten it. I don't have a stop. 27,407. What did they do? Why did they do that? 27,407. 407. 27,407. So I'm going to put a... Okay, so I had to put my stop back. Weird. And then I'm going to have to do a buy limit right here. Oh, a sell limit, sorry. To actually get out of this trade. Ridiculous. That was a weird... This has been the longest trade ever. Let's go to 420. We should just take, you know, we're just going to stop ourselves out there. Can we just stop ourselves out there, please? We'll take $100, okay? After 5 hours of being in this trade, we'll take $100. We'll just put the stop right here. I'll even put it right there. I don't care. I'm gonna just follow this candle. There you go. Jesus, that that took forever. That sucked. Let's delete that. All right. Let's go to the next day, and that'll be the last. What time is it? Oof. All right, let's see. That was the what? Oh, that was just the Monday. Oh my God, that was a disgustingly High resistance indeed. Jeez oh peas. That was just mean. All right. Last day, and then I got to dip because I got a Masters of the Universe movie to watch. All right, we're gonna dip into this order block and fair value gap. Let's note it. So let's see how we behave inside of here. Obviously, previous day low has been taken, but previous day high has not. 4 hour. Let's also check the news real quick. Something at 10. Nothing crazy. So what we'll do is, where is London? That's the previous day's afternoon. Okay, so they're taking out London lows right about here. And Asia lows will be below that. Let's hope this next day is not a giant pile of dookie for trading. Goodness gracious. That was rough. Goodness. Let's look at the 1 hour real quick. All right. 1 hour is looking like it wants to turn around. And so they've actually taken the London lows already, technically. Right here. Where's 2 o'clock? Oh, no. Close. But anyway. So let's push this to 10 o'clock now that we know that there's news, because I usually wait for that hour candle to close because they are liars. They lie. They lie real hard. All right, so we got this closure, daily fair value gap, and we've been pretty bearish. So let's see what we have on the 5 minutes. So they swept some liquidity, shift, swept that. Ooh, entry here, stop under here. I like it. What I'll probably do though is I'll take this long, since we're all the way up here. I'll take that long with a stop below here with the expectation that they'll turn that into a, let's give it a little more room. Turn that into a respected low. Technically, this is the entry I wanted, but after 10 o'clock, we've already missed it. So I am, this stop will be too big from here to here. I can probably do a little bit more on that one. Oof. I prefer it if it was down here because I'd have taken this and then down here. All right. Where are we? I took this here because I was hoping they were going to turn this into a protected low, but you can't make assumptions if they haven't already, created the behavior. So let's push this forward because we have a higher low. We need to push up, and then I can move my stop here comfortably. In the meantime, what am I looking for TP wise? Let's look at the 1 hour. I mean, where it's at, it's not a bad spot. All right. So could look. This order box is not bad. Let's put it right there. Could do the extreme. If we're just running all the way back up, then this 1 hour extreme is not a bad place for some TPs. All right, let's push this forward and let's see if we get what we're expecting. I think with any luck we do. If we get a nice closure above here, I can move my stop to right here. All right, let's push this to 10. 10. All right. Okay. So we're looking good to continue that way. This hour candle. I needed to get past this fair value gap right here is my issue. That's my issue right there. So let's see. Let's go to 10:15. It's looking good to continue upwards, but why am I constantly, we're staying below the 50% of this the bullish fair value gap. I needed to push up. Let's go to 10:20. Can we please? Ugh, coming down. Okay. This is where stop should be, but that's going to be too wide, I think. So we might just take a loss here after yesterday's BS. And I probably should have waited and been, but I think I've been sitting here for so long that I'm just like tired. 75, 68. Okay. Where's the midpoint of this wick? Because I'd like to stay below the midpoint of that wick. And this is probably just a silly trade. Let's go to 10:30. Risking too much on this. And we didn't get the follow through we were expecting. So that's 89. Let's keep pushing. If we lose, we just lose, and it's all right. 10:35. Oof. All right, I need this to catch up so I see how much this is. Oof, oof. 135? Oh, hell no. Like, that's way too much of a stop for me. All right, so this is what? I mean, I guess we're in for a pound, in for a whatever. We're just getting our asses handed to us on this trade, y'all. I think I'm just tired. I think it's time to stop. $200? What? Oh, right. $100 from the previous day. Yeah. So I would just be down 100 and change on the week so far. But this looks very, very bearish. Oof. Yep. That's coming for me. Yeah, that's a silly trade on my part. Yeah. All right. That one didn't have the follow through that I was hoping for, so we got stopped, and the stop was way too far away. Anyway, that's it for me, you guys. Thanks for hanging. And 5-minute shift, second shift, entry. Technically, once we shifted the body above here, and this swept would have been here, and I would have still gotten stopped out there. But I would have had a less egregious stop out. All right, it's about to be 12. It's time for me to get prepared for Masters of the Universe. So have a lovely day. Thanks for hanging out with me, and let's have a nice trading week this week. Be safe, be good. Shakira. Out. All right.